Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Ruth, John, Mark, Pamela, Patricia, and Peter Ray. Home movie, 1974. And now the movie, folks. Well, here we are at Avalon Drive, the new home, 21508 Avalon Drive, Rocky River, Ohio. And big house. And on Lake Erie. Mom had a lot of flowers, and I think is that the magnolia in front? Pink? No, that's not. Anyway, by the front, some tulips. Oh yeah, Mom had all kinds of room for flowers. Beautiful flower garden. There's the house. I don't know what exactly you would call it, but nice wind, red tulips. There's Dad in the backyard. He's got his Bahamas tan. Or his beard. He started growing a beard in the Bahamas. And this is, I guess, he's a little bit out of order because we're going to have the Bahama trip coming up here. There's Mark. Hi, Mark. Dad would grow a beard in the Bahamas because he got tired of shaving, and he would keep that beard for a while. Mom liked it. I guess he liked it too. Now this is me. This is my Peter, yours truly in the center, Buddy McKenna on the left, Rick Donaldson on the right are two of my good friends. 1974. Yeah, there's Rick. He's a very successful attorney in Washington, D.C. Buddy McKenna was very, very funny guy. And he's a real comedian. He lives in Columbus, Ohio. Our Grandma Smallshow was visiting. Augusta Lillian Fisher Smallshow. Very kind lady. Yeah, Grandma Smallshow. And backyard at Avalon Drive. Okay, now where is this? I think this is at the cemetery. Yeah, Pamela, our dear sister, Pamela Ruth Ray. And we'd had this pink dogwood planted there. There's her headstone, Pamela Ruth Ray. Pamela Ray, 16 years, a loving spirit. And she didn't live long enough to use her middle name. That signature was taken off her driver's license. Okay, back in the backyard of Avalon Drive, more flowers at the side, tulips. Wow, beautiful flowers. Yeah, Mom was a great flower person. She could identify flowers. And when she was old, there's some pansies at the bottom there. When she was older and I was taking care of her at the end of her life, I'd push her in her wheelchair, and then we'd see flowers. I'd ask her what the name of certain flowers were, and she'd tell me. And she'd say, "Oh, well, that's a hydrangea," or whatever it might be, or snowdrop. Oh, look at those tulips, beautiful flowers. Yeah, they're beauty personified. Okay, what are those? Now these are pansies. Very beautiful. Although they have weak stems, I ended up cultivating them. Now this is. Now we had, as soon as we moved into the house, it was on Lake Erie. Down below by the lake, there was storm damage. There was a grassy area and a break wall, and these lake storms would come up, and the break wall got broken, and a lot of the soil disappeared from the waves. So we'd come down after a storm, and the break wall was broken, and a lot of the land was gone. So Dad came up with the idea of having these large rocks brought and dropped just outside in the water. That hopefully the idea that they would break these crashing waves and protect the break wall from these winter storms and storms any time of the year. And you can see, wow, this is a big job. Now this actually didn't work. The stones sunk. They're probably, who knows, they're still there, but they're deep in the sand. And they dropped on the bottom of the lake there, but they would sink. So they were gone. So that was, I don't know who paid for it, if it was the flood insurance or this was Army Corps of Engineers. There was a real erosion problem because the lake level was high, so these storms would cause damage. So this was a big job, bringing these large stones to dropping them right in Lake Erie. Eventually, what he had done was a cap put on the top of the break wall, or on the grassy area. Oh, look at that, riding there, swinging their big crane. And like for about 10 feet on the top of the grass, they put in a cement about a couple feet deep maybe, and that stopped the damage. That ended up being strong enough so when you have the break wall along with that cement cap. So we didn't have any more problems after that. Oh, hi, Grandma. She's checking out this work that they're doing. Big barge. That's a big job. Yeah. Lake Erie, 1974. 21508 Avalon Drive, the backyard. Yeah, so we were in this new house and we had this big headache. I'd spent a couple summers working down there. We had sandbags that we got from the Army Corps of Engineers, and we were under the beach house. There was a small house there by the water, and under that was a boathouse that would fill with sand. And we'd go in there and fill these sandbags full of sand and fill up this depression that would be created. And then my dad would have to buy topsoil and sod. We'd haul down the topsoil and sod, and then it has several, at least 3 times I would say that happened. Now here we're in the front yard again. Beautiful flowers of our mother. Yeah, Home Beautiful. The pink magnolia in the front there. Nice pillars on the new. They've redone that house, and the pillars now are wide, set apart further. Look at that pink and shorter. Pink magnolia. Nice wind. 1974. Oh, it's nice seeing the swaying wind. The gentle wind in the flowers and the branches. Yeah. So the new family home on Avalon Drive. Big house, big property. We were missing Pamela. Mark was at Oberlin College. Patricia was in high school. I was getting ready to start high school too. 1974. Maybe I already was. There's that round picnic table in the backyard. Those wooden tables. The purple martin nest. Yep. So it was nice, except for that storm damage, and of course it'd be a little bit lonely in winter you'd have these storms, and there would be high winds, and the cold had come in through the windows. So anyway, that was our home for 38 years. I didn't like it at first because I missed the old house, and I always missed our old life there, especially because that's where Pamela lived. Now it looks like here, this bank going down to the lake, Dad would have some of the trees or some tree work done so that you'd have a little better view. The trees would really, grow. So he hired some guys to cut down some of the trees, or some of the branches at least. And so you see, that's a tough job, climbing up in those trees and doing that tree work. Now here we're headed for the Bahamas in let's see, when was that? In April. And this is the first time we're going back to Sister and Key for the first time since Pamela died there. And so it had been 3 years. And Mark's girlfriend, Pam Williams, ironically, his girlfriend's name was Pam Williams. And she came, Mom and Dad, Ruth and John, Mark, who was at Oberlin College, and his girlfriend, Pam Williams, whom he met at college, Patricia and Peter. And this was the property. There's Gil Hensler. He was a pilot and I think an executive with Island Flying Service. We were camping. There was no house there, and we brought down a tent, and we camped. We were trying to figure out where to put up the tent. Now Mark had been in Boy Scouts. He suggested at the far end that he thought it would be better for a storm, but it ended up being too hot. We never did that again. Hi, Mom. Ruth S. Ray. So we camped that first trip on the property Dad had bought. There's Mark and girlfriend Pam Williams, very nice lady. Hi, Peter. Yeah, I was 13. There's Dad surveying his domain. So there we were, and we put up this tent. Although we often would sleep on the beach with our sleeping bags, and we'd have some mosquito netting or some screening to keep the mosquitoes out if there was no wind. Yeah, these island dogs that would come over. We're still trying to decide where to put it. Like I said, we put it up at the far end. Later, we put that tent up in the middle of the beach. Well, not on the beach, but back a ways, where you could get more air. Yeah, so this was our first trip back to the Bahamas. And, we didn't... Later, we had a lot of work trips because we turned these ruins. One of the ruins, we rebuilt it into a house that we stayed in. But this trip, we were just sort of, although I think we did a little work on this trip, sort of sweeping out the rubble inside the one house. The other house we never, was just ruins. We just left it alone. There's the seaplane headed back to Nassau. There's a conch fisherman. You're not supposed to be fishing. The Exuma's Land and Sea Park, and I've heard from Patricia that now they really don't allow that. At that time, they let them get away with it. So there's the Rummages Beach where we had stayed back in the late 60s. A couple of conch fishing boats there. And so our first trip back to the Bahamas, you can see there's the tent that we put up, and there's some plastic. Dad bought some plastic for if it rained. It was hot, yeah. The problem we had, now there's a shark these guys had caught. No, that tent was so hot during the day, it didn't protect you from the sun. It wasn't. You need a roof over your head or some way to get out. So we ended up going in this cave. Yeah, they had this. I don't know what they did with that shark. Yeah. So we were camping. Yeah, it was. When we slept on the beach, if it rained, we'd come into the tent, and Dad would have to get up in the night and put up this plastic. And this looks like we're having our Easter egg hunt, I think. Yeah. Mom kept the tradition going. There's some. Oh, there goes Mark, goes first. Oh, he found an Easter egg. There's Peter. Yours truly. Didn't have a whole lot of eggs. Pam Williams is participating. Patricia. Yeah. There's Mom. She's the one who brought the eggs, I guess. And we had to cook there with, we brought these butane stoves that had these cartridges. And we did our cooking there. Hi, Patricia. Oh, nice pink Easter egg. So she must have cooked them, bought the eggs in Nassau. Oh, Pam Williams got one. There you go. And now, okay. Let's see, looks like Peter has 4. Okay, and Mark has 2 or 3. Pam has 1. Patricia has 2. There's Ruth. Nice to keep the tradition going. There's Dad. I think he has like a Mexican hat, or hat we bought in Mexico. Mazatlan, I think it was. There's Mark in the water. Is he posing? Posing for the movie camera. I think that's a conch fisherman. Okay, so what are we going to do now? There we are at the tent. Yeah, it looks like I have a book. Mark and Pam Williams and Patricia. It was, if it rained, we'd have to all cram in there at night, kind of crowded. And then, yeah, it was too hot. Ended up being a bad idea because there's no wind. And if you put it in the middle of the beach, oh, there's Ruth at the end on the coral. If you, we had trouble because of the sun. We couldn't get out of it. That sun would just beat down through the canvas on the tent. And yeah, like I said, later trips before we got the house built, we got that. We moved the tent about the middle of the beach back off the beach, but in the middle. Yeah, this is the property that Dad bought. And Patricia still owns, and she just went down with her daughters Avery and Scarlett. There's a nice pompano fish. And we're getting our underwater filming. Bahama movies underwater. Like Jacques Cousteau. Snorkeling. Skin diving. There was a reef there. Yeah, I'm sure it's still there. We called it, there was the Rummages Reef and the Ray Reef. The Rummages Reef, I think, was bigger. Oh, beautiful fish. Swimming hither and thither, back and forth. Nice coral, light green, sort of. Oh, there's a Sergeant Major, I think. Yeah. That brain coral. I think at the top of the picture is, I think, a screw that Dad, I think it's connected to, he had the movie camera put in this plastic housing that he had built so he could film underwater. That's a screw that was holding the camera in place, movie camera. Oh, there's definitely some brain coral, yeah. Sergeant Major with their yellow and black stripes. Oh, there's a big fish. I don't know what that is. Is that a turbot? There's an angelfish. There's some big fish. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Underwater, Cistern Key. The Exumas, Bahamas. 1974. Off the coast of Florida. In the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, look at that. It's fish. Purple and yellow. Nice colors. Okay. Let's see the light from the surface. You know, the surface, there's a little bit of water movement. I guess it would be nice if it's perfectly still, no wind, and then you don't get that distortion from the surface of the water. Yep. I assume this is the Ray Reef, or the reef off this beach. Could have been the Rummages Reef, which is bigger. Of course, they sold that property. It's now, or the Arnaud Reef. Oh, look at that fish. Yeah, pretty. Nice purple. Brain coral. Looks like a brain. Ooh, what's that? Popeye Jack. Look at that big head. Okay, back on terra firma. Look at that beautiful beach. Water rolling in. Yeah, there's the, eventually we have this, you'll see it later on. Actually, this video, I think Dad's going to be sweeping out. I think he was already planning. My mom and Dad Ruth and John were already planning. There's now this must be up on the ridge. There you can see the path to the cistern. There's Chicken Key. Yeah. Mm-hmm. horizon. Okay. Lots of palm trees. Windy day. Oh, looks like Dad's up on the ridge where eventually they built a house, another house. Aside from the ruins house oh, big cactus up on the ridge. Look at that. Wow. Now that's what I said here. Dad he started working and shoveling out the debris. That was this ruin of a guy in the 1700s, a British loyalist. And we spent several trips working. You'll see this, and actually in this video you'll see the beginning of the work. Aside from what Dad's doing here, he's sort of we let the trees stay until later before we cut them down. He's just sweeping it out on the first trip. So we did a little work on that first trip. He's got a shovel and a broom, I think. The next trip that you'll see, we did some, we're building the walls with cement. Here you can see the tent at the end of the beach. Yeah, the next trip you'll see we did a lot more. Then actually all the trips became work trips to build that house. First the cement, then putting up the wooden parts, and then the roof, and then thatching the roof with palm fronds. We had these work trips. It was good. It was good. Building that house is now a ruin again because we had some severe weather. I guess a hurricane, typhoon, and they weren't really using it. They built a better house, short distance away. They had built because they wanted something better. And more toward with a better view, closer to the edge of the ridge. Back underwater, snorkeling, sea life. That's a nice fish there. Okay, look at that guy. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that fella. It's like a small Nassau grouper. Maybe not. Small brain coral. And that's a Nassau grouper. Yeah, that's probably the most popular eating fish. If you go to a restaurant in Nassau. Popeye Jack. Sergeant Major. At least I know a few of these. I don't see any turbot. Is that a turbot? I thought the turbots were the most beautiful, kind of a funny fish. Angelfish. Oh, now this is a good one. This is a good filming Dad did. This is this is a conch shell where the original creature had died, and then this hermit crab had taken over the shell and was using it himself. He'd have to look for abandoned shells. And Dad or Mom is very patient in filming this hermit crab who's gonna walk away, taking his time. Oh, not yet. He's gonna come out here soon. Look at those. Look at that claw. Can really grab you. You don't want to get your finger in there. Oh, here he comes. Yep. Gonna make his way. Walk away. Oh, look at that. Yep. There he goes. Yep. Slowly but surely. Look at those legs. Off he goes. Okay, now we're gonna, what's this? Oh, Peter found a shell. Was that a trumpet shell? Look at that. Okay, now we're gonna be filmed doing our surface dive. There's Peter. Comes Patricia. Yeah. See if you can go down deep and far. Here comes, that's Mark. Yeah. Got a t-shirt on. I guess he got sunburned. Here comes Mom. Good job, Mom. You're getting down. And I don't see Pam there. Nice trumpet shell, Peter. Okay. Underwater movies. Cistern Key. The Exumas, Bahamas, 1974. Is that Pam Williams? I think so. Yep, there's Pam Williams. We got her. She got filmed too. Doing her surface dive. Okay, oh, there's some bigger fish back there. Oh, they got a sea fan. Swaying of water current. With the water current. Here comes Dad, John S. Ray, our fearless leader. Mom must be filming. His bald spot. He still had a fair amount of hair, though. Yeah, Dad was the best. He had the most lung power. He could go the farthest. Oh, back on dry land. What are we doing here? Not sure. Hi, Peter. Well, here we are on the beach, the property Dad bought. There's our tent at the end of the beach, near the path going up to the cistern. There's Mark. Looks like he's cooking dinner with Pam Williams, and just sitting on the ground. No chairs. This is our first time, so it was we were rather primitive. Mom inside the tent. Oh, a nice wind. You can see the screen tent. Yeah, and we have stuff that's drying. Yeah, it was too hot there at the end of the beach. No wind. This is the nice soft late afternoon sun. Yeah, the water's calm. Headed towards sunset. Yeah. Got tired of sitting on the ground. I'm not used to it. Wonder what our dinner was. Maybe tuna casserole or macaroni and cheese or something. Oh, now we're going home. Yeah, taking down the tent poles, and packing up. Because there's a boat coming to take us to Norman's Key. And then an airplane too. There's Will C. Grant, who came to say goodbye, the original owner of the whole island after, shaking hands with Peter Ray, yours truly. I remember asking him how the Cubs were doing. We were talking baseball. He said thought they were about 500 early in the season, 1974. Patricia, Pam Williams. I think that's Albert. Peter J. Ray. Dad with his Mazatlan, Mexico shirt. Mark with his pose of being sort of a dreamer. Funny guy. Mars. Mom, Ruth S. Ray. Mr. Ferguson, he really helped us so much. Very nice man. He helped us with the construction of the next trip. We're coming home here, and this is, I think, April. Yeah, this is... this is April, sometime in April. We came back in December and started really doing more work, a lot more work. Building up the walls, cement work, putting in corner poles, 4x4 wooden poles for the support for the roof. Oh no, there's a sea. This is a seaplane. It's right there. Or maybe we're arriving again. No, I guess the seaplane did come there. And that's a nice view of the island. And here we are in, I think this is, where is it? Oh, this is in Nassau. Yeah, the plane had the tire collapsed. A little bit alarming when it landed. You can see it's tilted to the side. We were a little bit upset. Like, oh my gosh. Nobody got hurt. Everything was okay. There was no fire or anything. Now we're back home at Avalon Drive. 21508 Avalon Drive, Rocky River, Ohio. Spring of 1974. Yep. Our new home, and we've been there about a little over a year. We were missing Pamela. Mark was in college, so it was a much larger house, but instead of 6 people, there were 4 people. So it took me a long time to sort of accept it as home. Well, I don't know how long, but it took a while, maybe a few years. I was always nostalgic for the old house on Beach Cliff because that's where Pam was, and we were, life is always going to change. But I miss that. I like driving past it still, up till now. Pink magnolia tree in the front yard. Yep. Tulips. Mom's beautiful flower garden. Yeah, red, yellow, white. Not sure. I know those are tulips. I'm not a very good flower identifier. It's too large. Those pillars in the front are pretty cool. That's Dad's den, or his office there. Yep. Real pretty. Are those daffodils? Yeah, I think those are daffodils. Yeah, they redid the house after we sold it in 2011. They weren't, by law, they couldn't tear it down, but they pretty much did. Or they did what they legally could do. And expanded. And this is the backyard. You see that swing. Yeah, we had a swing there. Purple Martin house. And Mom's flowers in the backyard. Imagine some of those were like perennials that sprouted again. There was a little, you see that little sundial. Purple Martin house, Lake Erie in the background. Yep. The bank on the east side. It's like a gully. We'd throw grass. I'd cut the grass and throw the grass down there. There's Dad with his Bahama tan, John S. Ray, and his Bahama beard. He started growing a beard in the Bahamas. He didn't feel like shaving in the Bahamas. Oh, now we're having the Purple Martin house painted. Yeah, that's a tough job. Look at this guy. He's got a brush on the end of a pole. Uh-huh. You can't be afraid of heights and do that type of work. Yeah, okay, now here we're back in the Bahamas. This is in December of 1974. We came down for Christmas. And we were camping again. We brought along a couple pup tents. And it was Mom and Dad, Ruth and John. We put up the tent in the middle of the beach, or in the back a little bit, but in the middle. And then where it was more air, definitely a better spot. And Mark did not come down, or Pam Williams on this trip. It was a Chip. Look at the wind on that. Patricia and her friend Jinx Faulkner stayed in that tent. And Chip Richmond and I shared a tent on the other side. And that's the tent where Mom and Dad stayed, and we had all our stuff and food. Or we could all go at night if it rained. Otherwise, we'd sleep in the tents, or we slept on the beach if it was. Look at that wind. It looks like it's going to blow the tent away. This is this path headed toward the where the land goes up to the ridge where we were going to do this work. And we had to clear this path first. You could see it was not too good. You had to sort of walk up that stone area, coral, and then you'd get to the ruin of the house that we rebuilt, and it was we used as a house for many years before it got destroyed in the storm. There's Patricia. Early on, we're just throwing these stones, debris and dirt and sticks and stuff out. With a shovel and with our hands and a broom, and clearing out some of the. You see, you're throwing stuff out. Chip's shoveling some dirt. That's Chip Richmond, Mark's friend. He was with us on 1971 on the trip Pam died, and Patricia's friend Mary, or Jinx Faulkner, came. You can see the wood we got piled up there. Yeah. This was a work trip, and we are cutting down some of the trees or shrubs. This is a nice footage inside the tent. Yeah. See the sun on the screen. Now I think the rummages were down, and they had there's Chip Richmond water skiing, and they helped us. They allowed us to go water skiing. Came over and said, "Oh, you want to go water skiing?" She said, "Sure." There's Patricia, water skiing. I don't know what. I think it was the rummages who had the boat. And here comes Patty back, Patricia. That was fun. Water skiing on Cistern Key. And the water's off Cistern Key. And she's supposed to let go of the rope here, and then, yeah. They're going to come collect the skis. There we go, let go. Okay, sure. Okay, there she goes. Down she goes. There you can see that corner post for the house that we put in. Corner posts, and then that middle. I just threw some cactus. There were a lot of cactus. There were cactus growing inside. Hi, Chip. And we're working hard. See, in the back, there's that corner post has been set, and we're what are we doing? Cutting off the debris. There, Mark. Chip's getting some stones in place. And we got the stones that were nearby and put them up on the walls, and cemented them in with those corner posts. Dad's going to check to see if this is level, with that level. If that 4x4 is straight, up and down. Got to be up and down. Looks good. Okay, John. Dad? Yeah, Mr. Ferguson helped us get those cornerstones set, because that was like the foundation of the roof. Hi, Dad. John S. Ray. Yeah, now we're, I guess Mary looks like she's banging a rock in there to get it to stay. We're putting these rocks in and then fitting them in. Oh, Mom's fitting a rock in. And then cementing them in. Yeah. Okay, now I've got a machete, tie-dye shirt. What am I doing? Oh, hurting a cactus. That's not good. Trying to gouge a cactus and hold it for the camera, but it didn't work. Hi, Peter. So we're gonna go swimming. Take a break from our work. That looks like the eating area. Yeah, we had a. Looks like we had some plywood that we used to make a table. We put some rocks under it. Back underwater, the underwater world. Beautiful fish, gracefully swimming. Yeah, coral reef. Yep. Fish. Oh. Making their way, gently swimming. The sea fan swaying in the ocean current. Dad's filming this underwater. Oh, he's got a lot of air. Sea fan. Jacques Cousteau, the great underwater oceanographer and filmmaker. Yeah, beautiful fish. Wonder what that fish is. Now the surface dives. It looks like Mary Jinx Faulkner. This is Chip Richmond. Good job, Chip. Making his way. This looks like Peter J. Ray. Oh, doing pretty well. Down low, and here comes Patricia. Real good. Nice and low, and here comes Ruth. Mom. Good job, Mom. Nice and low and extended. And finally, here comes Dad. John S. Ray, our father. Yep, the Great Walrus of Hopetown, as they called him before. His nickname. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there's a Stingray. Yeah, that was Mark's nickname. Stingray, R-A-Y, Mark's nickname. Stingray, R-E-A. Play on words. Called him Stinger. Yeah. All these fish, yeah, they keep moving. Gotta keep moving. Well, especially if somebody's there, I think they're moving more. They'll slow down if there's no need to move. Okay, back on terra firma, there's Chip Richmond, making progress with our work project, building a house from ruins. Yeah, I've got my own hat there from, here's Jinx cementing in the, the side of the wall. Hi, Chip. He's going to try juggling. Okay. Yeah. There's the corner post. Looks like it's straight. Yeah, Mr. Ferguson helped us get those, make sure those were all good. Set properly. And we put up some wood there to show how high we needed to get the walls. At the back they were higher, and then in the front lower where we get some wind. There's a fireplace, we would cook in the fireplace. And Chip Richmond put a conch shell there, made Mom happy. Mom got some sun. Mom doing her cement work. Good job, Mom. We were all masons. We were all cement people. You can see we left some of the trees up for shade and for aesthetic. Patty's cementing in by the fireplace. There's Mary on the outside, Jinx on the outside, cementing the wall. Peter bringing a rock in, playing to the camera. Yeah, getting work done. Chip Richmond doing a lot of good work here. Oh, he put some cement in and then fitted a rock in. Now Peter's. My job was the cement. Oh, okay. Everybody coming to get cement. Oh, Mom, getting a lot. Mm-hmm. Funny guy. Wanted to make sure the walls were nice and sturdy. Uh-huh. Good job, Mom. Chip. Okay, we're headed for home. There's the Mr. Grant's house. We'll see Grant's house. There's the dock. Yep. That's the house where Pam died. There's the Sapphire Beach, big beach by where Grant's house. Headed for home. It looks like we're on a boat to Norman's Key. Yeah. Hi, Dad. Patricia. Jinx. Our pilot. Our captain. Hi, Peter. Well, that concludes today's presentation. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.